What is up? I know it's been a long time. I have been a little busy with life stuff. I moved into the city and don't have a spot to keep my car and all that stuff. So car's just been kind of on hold, but it is now time to fit the Origin body kit I got and paint this thing. So that's super exciting. As you can see, I've already kind of started the process. I got the old bumper off here. Got the Origin drift line kit. This is the front bumper about to go on. I am trying to fit this kit before I head it over to my buddies for paint. Just so when I'm like drilling holes and doing all that, I'm not doing it in fresh paint. I'm gonna keep doing this. Hopefully everything fits decently. Origin is kind of hit and miss, so hopefully this kit was not a miss and everything fits for the most part. I don't need it to be perfect. It's a drift car, but hopefully it looks decent. So I'm gonna get to it. Okay, making progress. I just test fit the bumper. I didn't film it. It wasn't fitting right yet because this oil cooler line, which I thought might be an issue, it's hitting on the bumper here where it pokes out and down here. So I might try to figure out a better way to route this line, or if I can just scoot it in enough to where it's not an issue, but I knew that might be an issue. This oil cooler situation has always kind of bothered me. It's not ideal where it's mounted or the line routing, but I'm gonna see if I can make it work. All right, got it fitting better. Before it was like kinked to one side because of the oil cooler, but now it's pretty even on both sides. Looking good. Gaps are there. I mean, it's to be expected, but I mean, obviously there's a huge gap right here because it's not mounted, but the headlight cutout isn't like perfect, as at least how I'm mounting it now. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but it's like hitting here. Might need to shave it down a bit so I can bring the whole thing kind of up and snug. The over fender will be covering this gap anyway. It's same on this side, but the over fender is a whole nother thing because these are not Origin overs. They're Hyper Hive, so it just doesn't really work at all with the Origin humps. So I'm gonna have to trim the fenders for sure if I want it to fit snug. Kind of undecided on that so far, but yeah, that's another story for now. Bumper is looking pretty good. God, I love how aggressive it is. Can't wait for this thing to look aggressive and be all one color. It's gonna look so good. And I also want to get clear headlights instead of blacked out housings, because I don't think blackout housings would go well with the color I'm picking. Looking good. All right, so this is what I'm talking about with the over fenders. You can see they hit here because this indent isn't made for this bumper. So it hits there, which this whole thing is up and out now, creating this gap. And this previous mounting hole that was rib-nutted into the fender is not usable. I'm thinking maybe I can trim this, like a big arch like that or something. I'd rather not, but I don't know. It might look kind of goofy if I don't do that to try to make the gap less, because right now it's huge. So I'm gonna keep brainstorming, but I don't know. Not sure exactly what I'm gonna do about that yet. We shall see. To my surprise, I was actually able to get this rib nut in. And then on this one, this hole, I would just drill a hole in the bumper and put a nut on the other end instead of like rib nutting it. But I don't know, I'm considering just running it like this. I know there's a gap. I know it's not the prettiest. I just know myself, and I know if I'm trying to cut into this to make it fit perfect and all that, I'm gonna botch it. I'm gonna make it uneven on each side. I don't know. If it looks half decent with it just like that, then I could always come back later if I'm unhappy with it and touch it up. But for now, I think I might just run it like this. I know I might get grilled for that, but now it's time to actually drill holes and make it permanent. Get this front bumper mounted, and I got the side skirts and the rear bumper to do as well. With the hood closed, fitment's pretty good. It's from Origin. Hood gap's relatively even. It's looking good, man. Stoked on this. Alrighty. It's officially mounted, at least in 2 spots. So I'm using the factory mounting holes that I drilled into the bumper. You can see the OEM bumper over here has 6 of them, but only 5 are used. This one is unused on at least my car, a DE05. There's nothing there to tap it into, so there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I drilled out the middle 2, and it was easy because I was trying to figure out the best way to actually figure out where to drill exactly. I think that's the most annoying part when it comes to mounting body kits. But these 2 were easy because I could shine my phone's flashlight and stick it under and shine up, and it perfectly outlined the hole through the fiberglass, and I could just Sharpie draw it, the perfect circle, and then drill it out off the car. And it fit perfectly. So that is good. And it honestly probably be fine with just those 2 and then a mount on each side. I should probably just go ahead and drill out the other 1, 2, 3 remaining. But those are gonna be tougher because I can't get my phone back there. It's not hollow to be able to shine a light through. So might have to just rely on measurements. So we'll see how that turns out, but I'm gonna try that. Bang, just like that. Oh, I'm glad it fit. It was a live take. Boom. Just drilled out 4. I'm gonna leave the 5th one because it kind of always bothered me how it was asymmetrical. So now we got 2 on each side for the front bumper mount. And then once I figure out what I want to do with this, I will probably end up utilizing this hole that I already drilled and just sliding a nut on the inside of it, doing a nut and bolt for that mount there. Yeah, looking good, man, looking good. Let me close the hood. Sheesh. Yeah, very nice. I was a little worried at first. I thought this kit was fitting real bad and like tilted when I first fitted up, but it ended up just being one of the oil cooler lines. That gray one, silver one that you can see right there was hitting the bumper and causing this side to lift up and out, and it couldn't sit flush. So got that figured out, rerouted the line a little bit, and it is fitting pretty nice, I gotta say. Pretty impressed. At least with this like headlight, the hood gap, like it's pretty even considering for a fiberglass kit. And from some of the things I've heard about Origin, you know, glad it turned out. Now next up, probably hit up the side skirts. All right, back, and now I'm trying to fit the side skirts, and having a bit of trouble here. Not gonna lie. The front is like in where it's supposed to be, as far back as it can go, and then the rear like can't. I mean, it's there's a lot that it would have to come back to clear this and like go. So like, I mean, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't trim all of this. This is the part you gotta secure, but it's like so far off, and I can't really move it back anymore. So I'm not sure what to do. I'm gonna keep trying things and check back in with you guys, but this is not easy. Okay, I clearanced the back edge a little bit. I'm on the driver's side now because the passenger side was giving me trouble, so I just moved on. But this edge that I was talking about in the earlier clip, I basically like trimmed it down to be as thin as possible, and that gave me a little more space. and it like roughly goes on now. Still like a little wonky, baby steps, I guess. So that's cool. Still probably gonna need to do a good bit of trimming and stuff before I decide on a fitment and actually start like drilling holes and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of, like, when I open the door, it rubs a bit and stuff. Like, it's definitely still not, see how there's like a bunch of gap. Like it still needs to come in, like something. It's still not right, but I don't know. I'm figuring this out as I go. I've never fit a body kit before, so I'm gonna keep going. Okay, I was able to close the door fully, and again, I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but fitment looks okay. Looks fine to me. So I might just like drill a hole or two and like just get a zip tie in there, something to hold it there while I mount the rest. Still haven't figured out exactly what I want to use or where I want to mount, because the holes don't really line up in there. I don't know. I'm figuring it out, but looks cool. I marked out holes, so I'm gonna start drilling and see what happens. But I sharpied out a hole here, so I'm gonna drill through that, and I'm just gonna use the same thing I'm using on the front bumper, which are these like push tabs kind of style, and I'm just gonna do at least one on each end, and then I might just do like self tappers in the door jamb, like one or two, and yeah, this thing will be mounted. Yo, it is kind of mounted officially. It actually ended up lining up pretty okay. So I got one of those push pin things in there, and then the other one I showed you back here, right there. Probably is gonna need more mounting. I'm still also gonna mount on the inside. At least right here, because that lines up with a hole. So I should be able to use this. And then this one doesn't line up with any hole, so I could drill a hole or just leave it. I might just leave it. I mean, have one here. And I don't know, like I feel like that would be fine. 3 points. Plus when the door's closed, obviously it can't really go anywhere, but I don't know. Of course, you always see people at tracks with their kits flying everywhere. So maybe I'm very wrong, but we will find out. I'll either do it right this time or learn the hard way that I didn't mount it enough. Kind of similar to how I mounted the rear overs. Like I only did 1, 2, 3, 4 rib nuts. And online and like in events and stuff, I see people who rib nutted like all around the like over fender. I didn't think it was necessary, but so far so good. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, that was good progress. It's getting late, probably gonna go to bed, and tomorrow's Monday and Tuesday I took off work, so hopefully in the next 2 days I can get this side skirt finished, the other side skirt finished, and the rear bumper mounted and the new tail lights put in. So then once I know everything is fitted and fits, I can take it all off and bring everything to Diego for paint. And that'll be one of these next coming weekends, once I lock in a date with him. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow when I mount the rest of the kit. All right, went ahead and got the rear bumper off and drilled out here for another point to attach the side skirt. I drilled out right here as well on the side skirt to match. I'm gonna use another one of those plastic clip things. Those have been doing me pretty well. And then so I'll have 1, 2, 3 places to attach the side skirt. Hopefully that's enough, we'll see. After that's done, I put some paint on it after I drilled it out so it doesn't rust. So I'm kind of waiting for that to dry. And then I will start trying to tackle this side skirt, which I haven't really done yet. So I'm sure just like the other side, it'll require a good bit of trimming and stuff, but at least now I have an idea of what to do. After that, I will try to fit the rear bumper. and get the reverse lights and all that transferred over from the old bumper. So yeah, moving along.
Can't freeze, gotta move, can't stay still. Yeah, I know for God's sake, gotta stay chill. Okay. Can't hear ya, gotta speak up. Turn the bass up, blow the speaker. Turn the bass up, blow the speaker. Turn the bass up, blow the speaker. Gone pro, cracked out like a teacup. She shaking her ass like a seizure. Sick and tired, man, I'm fed up.
These are the little clips I'm using. Just bought a pack of them on Amazon. And line up the hole. And it just pops in and clicks. And it's pretty secure. So on this side, got one in on each side. All that's left is to secure this middle part. And hopefully it will be good. Alrighty. So this side is now mounted up. Had to trim this side a little different than the driver's side. It required a bit more trimming on the front right there. There's like a ledge on the inside of this. You can see actually where I had to cut. It was just making contact, not allowing it to sit as close. So I just trimmed that out and it got it good enough. But yeah, obviously fitment's not perfect. I'm sure I could have done a better job. It's my first time working with a fiberglass kit, or really any kit, but I'm happy with it enough for a paint job. You can see there's decent gap. It also, since I have over fenders, like the gap is a little more exaggerated because the over fenders don't come all the way down, but I don't really care. I am happy with this. I'm sure once it's all one color, it'll look pretty good from 10 feet away, which is all I really care about. So looking good. Next up, we'll be tackling the rear bumper, which is going to be the hardest part, just because there's all this stuff to transfer over that is not really fitting. I tried to test fit these blinker housings and they just don't fit. It's going to require quite a bit of trimming on the inside, I think, but it's okay. That'll just be a day's job probably, trimming that and getting it to fit right. When I come back next weekend, I'll knock that out, put in the clear tails, and then take everything off again, and it'll be ready to trailer to paint. So excited for that, and I'll check back in with you guys when I come back. All right, it is the next weekend. I'm back, and it is now time to finish up and then drop this thing off for paint, hopefully the next weekend. So bumper's already off, just got to fit the new Origin bumper, and the wing shouldn't need any like trimming or anything. I kind of test fit it and it seemed to be good enough. So the wing should be already fine for paint. So yeah, hopefully this bumper isn't too tricky. Definitely gonna need some trimming and gonna need to make some stuff work to try to fit the old blinker housings, and then the license plate and the hatch release button, that kind of stuff, but hopefully it's not too bad. But let's see. All right. First thing I noticed is I'm gonna have to trim each exhaust hole. It is hitting the muffler part of the exhaust tip back there, which doesn't allow the whole bumper, the bottom of it, to come in. So see how it's like kicked out a little bit? So that's the first thing I'm gonna trim, and then we'll see what is the next limiting factor. Not gonna lie, struggling a bit with this bumper. The fitment's not great. I've drilled a hole on each side on the top and put a screw in them loosely, or a bolt. Right there. They're just kind of hand tight right there. Those are the only two locations it's mounted right now, and I closed the lid and I closed the hatch, and you can see like the hatch gap is pretty big. You can see like yeah, you can see how big that gap is. I was trying to look at pictures online of like other 350Zs running this kit, and one of them it looked like they were able to eliminate this gap, and the other one I could definitely see it. So maybe it's kind of just how this bumper is. But the other thing is like the fitment on this corner. Like I do have over fenders, but even the normal fender is sticking out a bit on this side and not as much on this side. I mean, nothing crazy, but it's definitely like a fiberglass kit. Like it doesn't fit perfect, but I'm gonna figure out where else I can mount this bumper, because those 2 bolt holes is not gonna be enough. And then I will go from there. Fitment isn't great, but not terrible. Another thing that's uneven is, you see how this arch, even where my metal fender was, like you can see like, I just use the over fender line. Like it comes and then there's like an indent and then it goes down. It's not flush, the arch. But on this side, it is. See how it's flush? So, yeah, just a few little quirks, but that's all right. It's expected. I'm gonna keep chugging along. Alrighty, mocked up taillights in there as well, and they fit, which is good. I think what I'm gonna do down here, this can't come in nearly enough to like utilize this bolt hole or anything. I know it's kind of bunk, but I'm just gonna drill a hole and do a zip tie chain to keep tension there, so the whole thing isn't just flapping in the wind like that. So I'll bring it in with zip ties and like, so it stays tight on each side. And that will probably honestly be it for mounting. Might try to do something. There's another thing in here. If the taillight's out, you can see it. There's another spot where the previous bumper bolted in, but the gap is really big to where I wouldn't be able to use a bolt for that. I would have to do like another zip tie thing, which I don't know, I could, but I don't know if it's worth it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drill out the holes for the zip ties, and then after that, I will start working on figuring out how to fit the blinker housings, transfer over the license plate, and the hatch release, and all that. All right, went ahead and did this on both sides. Just drilled a hole, put a zip tie through to that hole, tightened it enough to keep tension, so now it's pretty solid. It won't flap in the wind as much. Now I'm moving on to these turn signals here. Trying to figure out how to get those in there. All right, we got some progress. I actually thought I was gonna have to do a lot more trimming, but I really just had to clearance this passenger side one a little bit to be able to really like shove the blinker housing in. In my case, they kind of pop and shove in. It's very tight clearance of the actual blinker on the outside. It's very tight with the gap, and so it kind of like snugs itself in if you shove it in. But then I also drilled a hole for these 2 screws, 1, 2, and I literally just drilled a hole a little bit smaller than the screw and lightly screwed them in with the screwdriver. They're just kind of self-tapping into the fiberglass, so I didn't go tight at all. Just kind of as added security, but really just kind of shoving them in there locked them in place. So again, I had to trim this one. It wouldn't shove in, it was too tight, so I had to clearance it a little bit. This one I was able to really just get on the first try, and from the outside it actually, this one's cracked, so don't look at that one, but for the most part it looks like it fits. There's that, which is good. And now onto the license plate and the trunk release. So let me go grab it off the old bumper. Let's go. Went ahead and just grinded it out tonight, so both blinker housings in and the license plate is in. All I did is use the same hardware that was on the stock bumper. These little tabs. So I cut out 2 access squares and then drilled a hole for the screw and slid these tabs in that are threaded. so you could put the screw in. It's this, I just copied what they did from the factory. So drilled access squares to slide the tab in over this screw hole and then slide a screw through. So looking good. It's funny, I'm doing all this, putting it all together just to take everything apart again down to the bare shell basically to drop it off for paint. But part of the process, got to make sure everything fits, drill all your holes, do all your sanding before paint. That way when it gets back from paint, you're not trying to drill holes and trim and scratching the paint. This makes it a lot more stress-free. I think, oh, last thing. This is the hardest part for me, at least. So this is your hatch release button. Normally in the OEM bumper, it just slides in like this. It just slides in there. And that's how you reach on your bumper and press the button to open the hatch. And it also has the lights that shine on your license plate. So this has been a bit difficult. I cut a square like that, tried to kind of copy what they did from the factory, but it just doesn't really fit. Well, I think there's not really anywhere to mount anything either, like hardware wise, because if I put it here, right, through the top, it's gonna show right there through the top. I don't want that. So I think, I'm not a huge fan of this, but I think I'm just gonna use double-sided tape here on the top and smush it up against the top, because that's the way the pressure will be going anyway. When you go to press the button, you're pressing up, so it's just pressing into the tape. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And plus it's not an essential thing. Like if it gets loose and messes up, it's not a huge deal. You can still open the trunk from the key fob. So, but I think as far as prepping for paint, that might be it, because the double-sided tape I'll just do after paint. That's huge. I'm gonna put it back on the car and, you know, put it on the ground just so I see the whole kit on the car before paint. I want to do that. But then after that, it's disassemble everything, take out the brake lights, headlights, all that, load it up on the trailer and take it to my buddy's shop for paint. Yeah, I got to lock in a date with him. Hopefully I can drop it off next weekend and we'll go from there. But I think I'm gonna love the color that I'm gonna choose, at least I think right now. Not 100% decided, but I'm pretty close. So should look good. I went ahead and tossed the clear tails in and mocked the wing up, and take a look.
I need to not pick up my phone. I'll go straight to airplane mode. Find something to do alone. I can be a little bit cold, but my third eye is going blind. I'm on a line, my body and mind. It's playing tricks, I say I'm fine, but really it's hurting me deep inside, 'cause I'm thinking about you. Ooh. I
know it's aggressive and kind of out there for the Z, but that's what I wanted. I wanted a aggressive body kit, aggressive wing. Wanted to switch it up, so I think it's gonna turn out real nice once it's all one color. I'm so excited. I had to pull it out. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to finish this thing. Bro. So good. I finally like the rear end of this thing, man. It's always been so boring and egg-shaped, and now it's got some aggression to it. The taillight bulbs are down there, that's why it's glowing. I just don't have them plugged in or anything, but alright, I'm gonna take this wing off before it falls off because it's held on with masking tape right now. But damn. It is that time. I have loaded the Z and I'm about to head over to the painter shortly. Took off the bumper, took off everything, so it's stripped down, ready for paint. And yeah, super stoked. Painter said turnaround time should be roughly 2 weeks, worst case. So soon this thing will be looking like a different car. Only uncertainty is this dent here. He said he can try some body work on that. But I don't know, it might be a little tricky. I'm not experienced at bodywork at all. So this is when, this is the back of Lewis's bumper. That's why it's green paint. But it dented the fender a little bit, I think. Just scraped the paint, obviously, and then it did dent the door a decent bit. It's kind of like an awkward spot. So I don't know how easy it is to just throw down a bunch of body filler and try to smooth it out to the body lines. No idea. I'm not experienced in that, but hopefully it's not too bad. And this thing will be looking nice and pretty. But again, I'm not super worried about it. Not a show car. I mean, all the body lines and stuff are not going to be perfect. I'm not getting like a wet buff afterwards. This is just a get it one color paint job. So super excited. Let's see. Oh, finally got a new battery for the winch and used it to pull it up because it's so tight with the clearance to the fender on these with this Mega Mantis. So that was awesome because I had the wireless remote, so I could reel it in while I had my hand through the window steering it to make sure it was perfectly centered. Super stoked on that. And I think there's a way I can wire this up to charge the battery while I'm driving. I just have to remember to disconnect it when the truck is just parked so it doesn't drain the battery. But yeah, so that's awesome. Ready to go almost. Got to load up all the body kit stuff. Let's do it. Originally, I was just gonna do all of the paint and body kit stuff in one video and reveal the paint and everything in one video, but this video turned out a lot longer than I thought with just the mounting the body kit. So this is gonna be its own video. Gonna wait for the paint reveal for the next video, but that'll be a good one in real time as I'm editing this right now. I should be going to pick up the Z with the new color in probably in a week or so. So that's super exciting. I will see you then. Thank you for watching.